Laws of Civilization by physicist George Danilov. Pictures generated by ChatGPT 4o. The text is read by a Microsoft robot Stefan. Humanity in the 21st century is boldly looking toward a high-tech future. What will this future be like? And with what experience and knowledge do we cross this conditional timeline? What conclusions have been drawn, and what plans have been outlined? The events of recent years show that the development of humankind has advanced primarily in technical terms. From a humanitarian perspective, progress has been rather modest. Humanity lives in incessant enmity and wars. Moreover, people not only fight among themselves but also with their cradle, nature, paying attention to the possible consequences of their activities, only when the results become critically obvious. Humanity is fragmented and lacks a unified development plan, devoting its main efforts to economic, political, and religious hostilities, and sometimes even to the simple physical destruction of each other, both at the interstate level and among compatriots. What is the basis of this enmity, and are there ways to stop it, and unite the efforts of people worldwide in a single plan for the development of human civilization? The main source of enmity is a person's desire for power, driven by the natural instinct of procreation and poorly controlled by consciousness. This aspiration is the only generally recognized law of life development in the civilized world, known as Darwin's law of evolution. However, the law of evolution is limited to considering the animalistic aspects of life and does not reflect other laws of civilization's development known to humanity since ancient times. The assertion that life was born in a meaningless nature, purely by accident, is quite debatable. When studying the physical laws of the universe, it is not surprising that all chemical elements are composed of elementary particles according to specific laws, as outlined in school textbooks. Modern achievements in genetics reveal that living cells are constructed according to certain laws, much like chemical elements form under appropriate environmental conditions. This fact casts doubt on the randomness and meaninglessness of life on Earth. If we continue this line of reasoning, it is quite possible to assume that the development of human civilization is also governed by certain laws. But if they exist, what are they? The laws governing the development of human civilization have existed for a long time and are well known to people. They were formulated in the Vedas and were discussed by Lao Tzu, Buddha, and Plato 2,500 years ago. It was with the introduction of these laws into the consciousness of his people that Moses began his leadership after successfully leading the Jews out of Egypt more than 3,000 years ago. He clearly understood that creating a healthy society would be impossible without laws, so he formulated them as the 10 Commandments, which he claimed were sent from above. The main ideas of the 10 Commandments in application to people are simple. 6. Do not kill. 7. Do not commit adultery. 8. Do not steal. 9. Do not bear false witness against your neighbor. 10. Do not covet. It is quite obvious that without the implementation of these simple laws, the existence and, moreover, the development of society would be impossible. The so-called Golden Rule plays a crucial role in the development of humanity. Across different civilizations and eras, this principle has been formulated as follows. 1300 BC. White Lodge, Egypt. I will do to others as I would like them to do to me. 500 BC. Confucianism. Do not do to others what you would not like them to do to you. 500 BC. Buddhism. Don't hurt others with things that hurt you. 500 BC. Zoroastrianism. Do not do to others what is not good for you. 500 BC. Jainism. Refrain from inflicting such damage that would be undesirable for us if it were inflicted on us. 400 BC. Plato in Greece. I will do to others as I would like them to do to me. 300 BC. Hinduism. Do not do anything to others that would hurt you if it were done to you. 100 BC. Judaism. What you hate yourself, do not do to your friends. 30 AD. Jesus Christ. And as you want people to do to you, so do you to them. Bible, Luke 6:31. Another law of development is the law of compensation, known in history from the Hindu Vedas and Jewish Kabbalah as the law of karma. In Russia, it is encapsulated in the proverbs, "What you sow, you will reap," or, "The one who sows the wind will reap the whirlwind." This law complements and refines the Golden Rule by explaining its foundational principles. Another very important law was formulated by Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount. You cannot serve both God and money. Matthew 6 verse 24. For hardened atheists, for whom the word God serves as a red rag to a bull, God can be replaced by civilization. To paraphrase in modern terms, serving money through dishonest personal enrichment always harms civilization. By comparing historical evidence, one begins to understand that civilization reached its greatest prosperity where people followed these laws of development. Their emergence in the earliest times of human existence suggests that they are embedded in the deepest corners of the human mind, which we traditionally call the soul. For the development of civilization, it is essential to study these laws alongside physical laws from the very first years of schooling. The development of human civilization is possible only if all members of the community observe the aforementioned laws. Human beings are born with creative capabilities, and the progress of society is determined by the development of these capabilities and the pacification of animal instincts, their submission to goodwill, rather than indulgence. Everyone is obliged to live in harmony with nature, accumulating knowledge of its laws, developing physical and intellectual capabilities, and avoiding greed. Otherwise, one is doomed to death or a vegetative existence. It is difficult to expect a positive reaction from someone towards whom an unfriendly attitude, or even aggression, has been shown. Jesus taught in his Sermon on the Mount how to love people. However, comprehending this law of love preached by Christ is not easy. Does this mean that the law of love is utopian? Everything depends on our will and the level of development of our consciousness. Good luck. About the authors, generator of images, ChatGPT-4. Text reader, Microsoft bot Stefan. Author of the text, George Danilov, physicist. I have studied the laws of physics at universities for longer than 40 years, the laws of biology in the laboratory of nature for a significant part of my life, and the spiritual laws of nature for at least the last 30 years. I have been trying to spread the idea of universal laws of nature for over 20 years. I invite you to further develop the understanding of the uniformity of all laws of nature and spread this knowledge within human society. Thank you.